understand the goal after I graduated from college. I thought the goal was yield, to control nature, to push her back, because it's all about yield. I don't want to be taken over by weeds. It's about controlling nature physically and chemically. That's what I was taught. It was all about yield. But the real goal is mimic life, biomimicry. Farmers and ranchers, we should wear a t-shirt. I mimic life. Our goal is to emulate its principles, its patterns, and its architecture. What do I mean by its architecture? When you walk out on the ranch and farmer, you should be able to delineate between nature and your farm or ranch. You should see the beautiful cover crops that emulate that forest or that prairie. That's what we're talking about. As I've taught all over North America, from Canada to Mexico, been exposed to hundreds, thousands of people, I've came to the conclusion that the most difficult thing to heal is not the farm and ranch soils, but what's between our ears. It's the way we process information. It's the way we look at the world. It's our filters. Another process that makes it very difficult for change on the farm and ranch is called social conditioning. It's the social conditioning on the local farming community. If a farmer or rancher wants to do regenerative farming or ranching, the pressure is brutal, because the farmers and ranchers in the local community are saying, why are you doing it this way? Social conditioning exists, and it's very difficult to overcome, and it takes an incredibly brave person to overcome it. What shatters our way of thinking are filters. It's an aha moment. All of us have to go through that. I had an epiphany. I had an attitude shift. Mine happened in 2001 when I saw that farmers were still going broke, could not bring their children into the operation. And I said, how many acres does it really take to make a living? That bothered me. And we spent billions and billions of dollars to clean the water, and the water was still not getting clean. That was troublesome to me. Being exposed to many, many people, I realized quickly that what separated the top 10% from the rest of the herd was this: mindset, the way they thought, the way they process information. These people were intentional, very giving, willing to learn, willing to adapt. They were willing to pick up the skills so they can learn how to use the tools correctly. Mindset is everything. It's the way we look at the world and how we're willing to approach the problem. As I taught all over the country, I started understanding that humans are amazing for creating distinction, drilling down, reducing things down to the individual element, maybe the individual cell. The only problem with that is when you're dealing with ecological and biological systems, you need to back up and see the whole, the collective whole, and how all those individual pieces are connected. Those individual particles or organisms, always back up and look at the collective whole. Let me give you an example where we take distinction way too far and don't see the collective whole. To build on my point about delineating or creating distinction, when I start talking about no-till cover crops, and I'm in this type of region, eco-region, which you see this picture, and the first thing farmers and ranchers say, well, Ray, it's too cold here. We can't do some of the practices. I also hear them say, Ray, it's too dry. We can't grow covers here. I also hear them say, Ray, it's too wet. It's too cold. It's too wet. It's too dry. But let's see what all these things have in common. What is some of the collective whole that we need to see about the power of life? So what do all these ecoregions have in common? Life. They're still part of the planet Earth. Yes, we have no-till all the way in Canada. We have people planting covers. We have people planting covers in the deserts of Chihuahua. We have people planting covers in Louisiana, Arkansas. What do they all have in common? The 4 basic ecosystem processes that we're going to talk about in the next slide. So what are the 4 ecosystem processes? Simply said, this is the way the earth functions. These are the most 4 critical processes for life. The first process is photosynthesis. It is the ability of the plant to capture light energy and turn it into chemical energy that feeds an array of soil microbes. But also plants and soil are critical for a water cycle. Without plant and soil, we would not have a functioning water cycle. We could not have rain. It is the living plant and soil that attract rain throughout the continent. Also, another critical process is the biogeochemical nutrient cycle. Without the water cycle, without the living plant feeding microbes, we cannot have a nutrient cycle. And then the last process, very critical to life, is the power of diversity. This beautiful community of diverse organisms, insects, all types of soil biota, living plants, animals. Nature uses diversity to communicate, to pass energy, to pass nutrients. That's how this planet communicates, through living organisms. The more diverse your farm and ranch, the more effective this communication of life is on your operation.